Hi, welcome to Amel Counseling. I'm Kim Wheeler Poitevien. I'm a clinical social worker and I'm the owner of Amel Counseling Consulting. And today's topic is, how much do I need to share with my child's school after experiencing loss? And the disclaimer I'll say is that this is always a judgment call. There is no right or wrong answer. It always kind of is dependent on what your personal experiences and circumstances are. I will just share my recommendations and my experience as a school social worker. And the first thing I will say is, you share, number one, you're not required to share anything. That's the number one thing. Your business is your business. Now we're looking at how much you actually share, and it's how much you feel comfortable sharing. Everyone, we're experiencing grief and loss, and this could be due to a death, or it could be loss of income, it could be a divorce, it could be a major change, a huge transition that we're all kind of reeling from and we're trying to adjust to. And so we share what we're comfortable with. Some people bear it all, and other people kind of hold it close to the chest. And it's whether it's for comfort or it's for security or fear of how people are going to use that information. As it pertains to children, we'll discuss further, but kids process loss a lot differently and than what we would expect. And we as parents or even as professionals may sometimes forget that, or if we're not understanding of it or really knowing what's going on, we can make decisions that don't even take that into account. So all that to say, I think it is definitely helpful to let a school know that there are some major changes that have happened in your life. There may be some things that your child is trying to adjust to, and that it may possibly impact how they're functioning in school, or it may not, but that you just want to give them a heads up to let them know. That way they aren't making decisions about your child's behavior based on incomplete and inaccurate information. I've given an example of a child that possibly has ADHD. Those behaviors could probably be increased, whether it's the inattentiveness, hyperactivity, inability to follow through with directions because they're even more distractible. The change in routines, they may be even more impacted by that. And that kind of crops up in school, and because children are there for a huge chunk of the day, schools are going to see that. And if a school doesn't necessarily know why or have any kind of attributions to why they're behaving this way, then they may make a decision that's could possibly be punitive, or just inappropriate because they don't have accurate information. So that could definitely help them. Otherwise, you could be a child that's always kind of flown under the radar, and they would never really pick up on the fact that they're possibly isolating themselves more. They're showing sad and depressive symptoms because they've always kind of been withdrawn, and they're even more withdrawn, and they're not seeing that as a red flag. So just giving them a heads up that something is happening could definitely be helpful. And you can use the school as your eyes and your ears. So those times that you aren't able to keep an eye on your child and you don't really know what's going on, they see them all day. And if you really aren't feeling comfortable with possibly talking to a teacher, talking to a school counselor or to a school social worker is definitely what they're there for. That way that they can get a little bit of information, kind of disperse it to school teachers and the principal as needed to actually give them a heads up that something might be going on, and that they also can kind of look for those red flags and those triggers. So I hope that that was helpful. And if you are in the Philadelphia area and you were looking for support for your child or your adolescent, you could definitely give me a call. And again, I specialize in working with children experiencing grief and loss, and also in difficult school transitions. You can reach me at www.ameltherapy.com, and my number is 215-882-9840. Take care. Bye.